Hello there folks, back again for another video. In this one we're going to be having a look at another new miniature that was revealed for the Middle-earth strategy battle game. Every month the folks over at Games Workshop on Warhammer Community put out a preview of what's coming up for their new supplement, which is for Arnor, and the continuing battle between Arnor and Angmar up in the north. This particular preview stepped away from the Arnorians, I suppose, and looked at the Gondorian reinforcements that were sent north to help fight the Witch King of Angmar and see if they could beat them back. In this case, it is the awesome last king of Gondor, Eärnur, who is looking rather nice indeed, with both a foot and mounted version, as you can see here. Very, very nice indeed. It looks like it's going to be another one of the Forge World resin kits that you can get from them in the future. Very nice foot version, and I actually don't mind the mounted one. I'm not necessarily a fan of a lot of the mounted models that we've seen recently, apart from maybe Glorfindel, which was a couple of years ago now, but I quite like the look of this one, and I think Eärnur there with his helmet off looks absolutely fantastic. For those not familiar with Eärnur, obviously we'll have a look at the miniature in a little bit more detail. He is the last king of Gondor. He was sent north as a prince by Eärnur II to help fight against the Witch King of Angmar. He fought at Fornost, where he was he charged forth into the enemy lines to try and fight the Witch King, and the Witch King challenged him and caused his horse to bolt and flee in terror, at which the Witch King laughed at him and made a little bit of a mockery of him. He was only saved by the elves of Rivendell and Glorfindel, who managed to push the Witch King off the field of battle. From that point, he took over as king down in the south, but he was challenged by the Witch King to single combat, as you can see there, and that's when he headed off and disappeared into the grounds of Minas Morgul beyond the gate, and was never seen again, therefore bringing an end to what effectively was at the time the line of kings, until, of course, the return of Aragorn later in the storyline of Middle-earth. But yes, an impetuous fellow, but no less mighty for his deeds. With that in mind, he comes with a fight value of 6, as well as 3 attacks, 3 wounds, and 3 might points. He's armed with a sword, a shield, and heavy armor. He can also come on an armored horse and a lance, so it makes him an exceptionally good warrior. He does come with a very nice thematic rule for him, though, called a Fool's Challenge, as you can see there. If Eärnur is ever the target of a heroic challenge, he may never choose to decline under any circumstances, and he must charge an enemy hero if he is able to do so, which is very fitting with his the idea of him wanting to fight the Witch King, being humiliated, coming back to try and fight him again, and sort of going off for the challenge and all that kind of thing in Minas Morgul. He also has the Master Duelist trait as well, as you can see there. So at the start of the fight involving Eärnur, after resolving any special rules that affect an enemy model's fight value, but before any heroic strikes are resolved, Eärnur may increase his fight value to match that of a single non-monster model he is engaged with. So even if he's coming up against someone who is a decidedly better fighter than him, he can try and match them and hopefully win the day, which I think is quite nice. A really awesome looking miniature and some really fun thematic rules. Once again, saw a few people being like, oh, we're getting an Arnor supplement, but we're now seeing a Gondorian hero for an already hero-ready heavy force. But it matches with the time period, it's thematic, it makes sense. I don't see it being an issue that this is being included as part of the collection. And what's coming up, it's just more to help build up the background of Middle-earth on the tabletop, which I think is quite nice. And hopefully will allow you to play out some really fun and interesting scenarios on the tabletop. As I said, great looking miniature, really love the detail that we get on the shield, and all the work in the armor as well is absolutely fantastic. It's going to come up a treat when you start painting it. I think the pose for the on-foot version is great as well, as if he's bracing himself for a duel with the shield up. I think you could have a really nice diorama done with both him and the Witch King of Angmar sort of looking at each other across the field of battle. And the same goes for the charging version of him as well. You could imagine him charging across the field, knocking aside orcs, left, right, and centre. That lance tip aimed right at the Witch King's heart, effectively, to see if you can take him down. So yeah, some really nice miniatures across both versions, as you can see. And hopefully we see a little bit more from Middle-earth in the near future. Won't be long before the next reveal comes around, no doubt. Hopefully we'll get a little bit more of a look inside the book at some point as well. That could be quite nice, so we can learn about what kind of stuff is in that supplement. But for Arnor fans and also Minas Tirith Gondor fans, you've got something fun to look forward to, which is quite nice. We should obviously cap off by having a look at the teaser for next month. We've got a sort of battered metal helmet there with bone antlers stuck to the side of it. I'm thinking we're going to get another Mordor, well, not Mordor, another Angmar character, maybe another orc perhaps thrown into the mix. Interesting one there. Potentially we'll see another character a little bit like the one that we saw last time, and sort of where they go with that one. But yes, fun stuff on that front once again for Middle-earth and the Lord of the Rings on the tabletop. Great to see that there is still more fun happening for Middle-earth. And yeah, let me know what you think of the new miniature down in the comments below. Do you like this version of Eärnur? Do you think it's fun to see another Gondorian miniature in the mix? Do you like the poses? Do you prefer the on-foot version or the mounted one? What do you think of his special rules? Do you think they're fun and thematic? Do you think they're going to make for some interesting play on the tabletop? I think it's powerful, but also comes with the drawback, of course, as well, because obviously he's going to have to fight as many heroes as he possibly can. And so he might get taken out of advantageous positions, but I think it all works quite nicely with the character, as you can see. But yeah, really fun stuff there for the new Arnor Supplement and obviously for Middle-earth Strategy Battle Game. Like, share, comment, do all that good stuff below and get involved in the conversation, and we will be back in the near future with more goodness. Thanks again for watching, and I shall see you folks very, very soon. Bye for now.